turned the aircon off for now, but I might have to turn it on again, okay? And if it does, then it might make a sound, but I'm sure we're fine. So I've gone from the cherry Tiggo Cross last week into what is actually a rival, which is the Hyundai Creta. I say Creta, I don't like saying Creta because it's not a creep or creature. Maybe it is Creta. Anyways, I like to say Creta. This is the updated version. And although I said it is a rival, like the sort of Chinese car brands, they come in, they're far cheaper. This is obviously a little bit more expensive. The Tiggo Cross, that top of the range one, comes in at like 450. This kicks off at 450. So we're going to talk about that more now because I'm so glad I'm getting to drive these sort of back to back because we're going with like sort of old school, sort of one of the OGs, if you will, one that is very familiar, very loved, very popular, very familiar. And then the Chinese car brands that everyone's a little bit afraid of, but very intrigued by. Okay, but now I want to speak about like cheap and cheerful, right? Because put your details into hippo.co.za. I did with this Creta. And I got a quote, the cheapest one was 630 Rand with a 9,500 excess, but there are 11 quotes there, guys. Loads to choose from, okay? So you get to do that too. Tell me what you're getting. I want to know. So Hyundai obviously knows, Hyundai, like Sunday, needs to know or needs to keep these cars refreshed and competitive, especially because of these Chinese car brands coming in. What Hyundai did with this, like, I mean, look, the styling tweaks are ever so slight, okay? It's now got like a matte option, which comes with a few black styling, like black wheels and some black trim on the outside. But the pricing was probably where it was a little bit more interesting. A couple of the models came in cheaper than the outgoing one. They can't up their prices like they used to, right? Because then everyone's going to definitely head towards the Chinese offerings. But now I speak about this matte color. Now, I've got that now. It's very cool. I think it looks super nice. I think this car is flipping stylish. Get out of my way. I'm not moving for cyclists. They can wait. I think this car is super cool looking. It's like really, really striking. And this matte color is great, but beware, okay? So it's about 5,000 Rand more for the matte if you want that, the matte edition coloring, but it requires special care. Now, who has time for extra worries in their world in this lifetime? Because I sure as hell don't. So like you can't use like a high pressure hose on this or anything. So you've got to take like very special precautions. I remember, I might be incorrect, but it's like things like, I don't think you can go through one of the washy things. What's a squiff? Like what are they called? Like a car wash, you know? I'm not sure. I must double check on that. But like things like that would annoy me because I'm all for convenience, okay? But a lot of people are for styling and they don't care. Like, you know, like beauty is pain. I don't follow that. As you can see, I'm a very comfortable dresser. I've got Birkenstocks on. I own Crocs. That must just tell you where I'm at in my age. Anyway. Okay, so inside, the premium has added things like a one-touch whatever window thingamajiggy and whatever, but like, and it's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which, by the way, so I'm in the executive model. I have struggled. It hasn't been as seamless for me for my Android Auto. It sort of works sometimes and it doesn't other times. The Cherry Tiggo had none of those issues at all. It was like seamless, and as I got in my car, it was on. This I've sort of struggled with. Again, could be my phone. You never know. But this now adds like a 10.25 inch digital instrument cluster. Whoa, one of those days. It's also got a wireless charger. You've got these leather seats or like play ones, like faux leather. I think they also are actually in the premium. This also adds safety features now. It's got like blind spot avoidance, collision avoidance, whatever. It's got forward collision avoidance and lane keeping assist. So a couple of extra safety features. This has got 6 airbags and the premium has 2. That, when the extra, which is a budget buy, has 6 across the range, I mean, my flabber is gasted, let me tell you. How can they not just put 6 in here then? I think that's an oversight, and they should have put 6 in the premium, sorry, and the executive. So, missed opportunity. They mentioned this has also got like a push button start now. I don't even feel like that's worth mentioning anymore. I mean, who doesn't? Everybody's got a push button start. It's also, ever since I was in that Mini Cooper seat, whatever I was in, and it turns like that, like a T, I love it. So now I'm a bit bored with the button. They must come up with something new. I want some new technology to start my car, okay? And I don't like the electric cars where you don't have to even press anything and the car just goes. That freaks me. That's just too far ahead for me, okay? I need something in between. Space-wise, again, this is like what I speak about when it's familiar and it like works. Well, it's such a fab little family car. Lucas car seats in. He's got more than enough legroom. There's more than enough legroom for a passenger here. The boot is like 416 liters, so that's great. Yeah, I find it to be like I get in and it's easy and it's comfortable and it's like I say familiar, and we all love that sort of thing. You know, not everybody likes change. So this is that car. Like it's just sort of trusty rusty. It does, you know what it's about. So the engine remains unchanged. It's a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder naturally aspirated petrol. It's got 84 kilowatts of power, 144 newton meters of torque, and it's mated to either a 6-speed manual or the CVT, dreaded CVT. However, a CVT in this car with this engine is suitable. It's also far more fuel efficient. So I think the fuel consumption is claimed at like 6.3 liters per 100 k's. You can easily get close to that, especially with the CVT. I've been sitting at 9.1, but that sounds about right for me. I think if I drove a little bit more mindfully, I would get that down quite quickly. I just have not been driving mindfully. But maybe not, you know, there's probably a lot of people who are like me, who are going to be like, I don't want to be concerned about the fuel consumption the whole time. But that Cherry Tiggo Cross, let me tell you, that fuel consumption was out of control. So this would still be much better than that. But here is where this car is let down, whereas the Tiggo is bumped up, okay? Oops, I think someone's been hit by a cyclist. Seems to be a bit of drama going on there. So this would be wonderful with the turbo. Do you know, like the Cherry Tiggo's got so much oomph, it's got a lot more power, and that is appealing. Unfortunately, this feels quite lethargic, and it's fine for like your around town sort of things, but the minute you put your foot down, that CVT drones, you're going to have to really think about overtaking. It's not going to be as quick, whereas that Tiggo's with their turbos, you know, that should be the headline for someone. That's where this is now let down for me. This top of the range is like 520,000 rand. Like I say, it's like $5,000 or whatever to add the matte finish to it, which is not necessary. Okay, this is where I normally film, and look, they're doing a whole shoot here. It's like they know. How very dare they? How rude. Can't film there today, guys. Anyways, they're probably paid to be there. But you could, like, talking about rivals, okay, if you are a safe buyer, and like I say, you don't like change, you're going to look at something like this, the T-Cross maybe, the Corolla Cross, do you know, the ones that you know, the Kia Seltos, the brands that you've come to. I mean, remember there was a time you didn't trust Kia. In fact, there was a time I don't think you trusted Hyundai. Look how far they've come. Look how far you've come. So, like I said in that review of the Cherry Tiggo, there are things that let it down, like the fuel consumption and the throttle calibration, which is appalling. This is like a lovely, comfortable, easy, no sort of fuss-free, whatever drive. But it's let down by the engine not being powerful enough. And the price maybe, because you're going to get you're going to get something cheaper. So I would say, think about it. Take them both for a drive. And like I said with the Tiggo, don't be wowed or blinded by all the bells and whistles. Like, really think about your everyday drivability, your everyday fuel consumption, etc., and then make a decision. It won't be wrong if you go for the Cherry Tiggo Cross. Like, I'm not saying that. Like, if you are happy with the way it drives, then you're going to have no problem. The same for this. You need to drive it. If it bothers you, if the CVT bothers you, if the engine's not powerful enough, check out some of its rivals. Alrighty. Just thought I'd let you know that it is the Cape Town Cycle Tour. I still call it the Argus Cycle Tour. If you're my age, you'll remember, you'll know why. I'm not excited, but you'll be watching this video after that, so let's see how that goes.